Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of If I Do This Right podcast. This is season 4, episode 2 of the podcast this season. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're joining us live or watching the playback. We so enjoy you tuning in. We're going to do it a little different this time around. We're going to go ahead and bring on our special guest because he's going to help us talk about the hot topics, and we're going to go down the line. We're going to have us a good time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on my brother, Real. Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm making it. I'm blessed.
Yeah, good to have you on. Good to have you on. So, like I said, you're going to help me kind of host before we get started too good into the show. So, we're going to talk about some hot topics. First and foremost, yesterday
Ooh.
was International Women's Day. So,
Mm-hmm.
of course,
Mm-hmm.
International Women's Day is a day that celebrates, it's a global day that celebrates the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. So, if you love a woman, if you know a woman, which we all do, show them some
Mm-hmm.
love and support. Did you celebrate?
Somebody got a mama out there.
Somebody got a
Somebody.
mom out there.
Mm-hmm. Go hug them or something.
Go show them some kind of love. Of course, some
Mm-hmm.
kind of love. And then also, I'm so sad about this. Angie Stone passed away. Neo Soul. Would you say
Mm.
Neo Soul
Yeah,
artist?
I
You know,
probably so. Neo soul, because she had a different vibe, but
hmm
she still had soul in there. Yeah, I would
yeah,
say neo soul.
yeah, yeah. So Neo Soul, she passed away March 1st.
Mm.
She died in a car accident, 63 years old. She was actually on her way. She died the accident was in Alabama, and she was actually on her way to Atlanta to perform. The weird
Mm-hmm.
part about all of that is she was the only one that
The only
passed.
one.
The only one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Some people saying that there's some conspiracy. What you think, bro?
I mean, this world is a conspiracy if you ask me. So I don't
Woo!
know, but I mean, yeah, I get it's kind of weird that only one person out of the whole, because she was traveling with her band. I believe they had just
Right.
finished performing or whatever like that in Alabama.
Yeah.
So for them to get hit by, I guess they said an 18 wheeler or something like that.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and for her to be the only person, like I want to see this car. Like, where was it hit? How was it that she the only one who got some kind of impact like that? We don't. They didn't say anything about the other band members. Just
Yeah.
Annie.
Well,
She
they
the one.
said
She the
that.
only one.
Yeah, they did confirm that there was no other deaths, but at least 8 of the passengers were injured. Now I don't know if there were eight, 9 people total who were
Mm-hmm.
traveling, but I try not to think about stuff like that, like make it super negative. But I did think that was kind of weird for her to be the only one who passed. But
Mm-hmm.
nevertheless, they're having her memorial service, and prayers go out to the family and all those who were close to her.
Yes, indeed. I was over there sitting. I was at work. I said, Lord, not Angie. Not Angie. Mm-mm. Not Angie. It could have been one of the drummers. They can't play anyways. But
Yeah,
not
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 Angie.
Angie.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That was a hard pill to swallow. I have to be honest. Now
Yeah.
it didn't hit me. The music. I'm one of those that I don't necessarily get choked up when famous people die, but it's a couple of them that like get to me. So it wasn't like a Left Eye, because Left Eye hit me hard. Aaliyah hit me
Mm-hmm.
hard. Um, yeah, but
Mm.
it still it kind of stunned me a little bit.
Yeah, it stunned me too. And again, I'm the same as you. Celebrity deaths don't really get me. Ain't but one celebrity death got me, and that was Kobe. That
Yeah,
was somebody who inspired me to just keep going and never to give up on anything in my life. If I have a dream, keep going for it. He was an inspiration.
Yeah.
He's probably the only person, only celebrity that really got me. But this one kind of stung. It was like,
Yeah, it's
hmm,
stung. Super unexpected. Uh
mm-hmm.
RJ says, "Sup, bro?" Thanks
So
for
G,
tuning in, RJ. I love that profile pic.
say Drake.
Love that
Oh,
profile pic. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, moving forward, of course, we have the question of the show. So the question of
hmm.
the show this time is: name your all-time favorite music icon, living or dead. Living or dead. Go for it.
Um, so that's gonna be Marvin Gaye.
Nice. I like that.
Marvin
That's
Marvin Gaye
good.
is my top. I mean, I have others that I could probably sit on the throne, close or next to him, but Marvin Gaye is
Yeah.
that's my guy.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Hmm.
For me, it would probably be Whitney Houston.
Okay,
She
she
was just,
legendary.
yeah, she was just so multifaceted. She was talented, and I I loved her quirkiness.
Hmm.
I loved her, even though probably some of that was drug induced.
I mean, if we go in there,
Hey,
yeah,
we tell the truth around here.
you
So
know,
some of
it
that
is
might have
what it
been
is.
drug induced. Yeah, it is what it is. Some of it might have been drug induced, but with that being said, I just think she was a phenomenal artist, and I hate that things happened the way it did for her. But yeah, phenomenal artist. Where'd you go? We lost him, y'all. He's gonna be back in a minute. I hope it just went black on us. But nevertheless, while he is coming back, I hope. Let me go ahead and take care of some housekeeping rules. Of course, as you can see, the show looks a little different than what you may be used to. Uh, are you coming back? Okay, I think he's still working on it. And I hope it's not on my end because we are using Wi-Fi on our end. He working on it. But nevertheless, thank you guys for rocking with us or with me, because it will be a me type situation from here on out. We wish the previous co-host nothing but the best moving forward in their endeavors. We do plan on taking this show and doing a lot of interviews and with book reviews. We're going to do a lot of artists, I think, musicians, those type of things. So nevertheless, we were going to keep this pushing. The show was just interviewed by a local Dallas magazine called Voyage Dallas. So we definitely look forward to you guys checking that out. So definitely make sure that you are tuned in and plugged into us. You can email us, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure you're following us. Make sure that you're hitting like, comment, subscribe, and hitting that bell so you can get all the notifications. Now we've handled that business. Come on back, Dorell. You
Tell me
good? You
why
got it?
somebody, tell me why somebody just tried to call me. Leave me alone. Oh
Don't they
my,
know you on the show?
man, it's one of them spams. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Longview in the house.
Hey.
All right. So now you and I know each other. We met. Can you remember when we first met?
No, if I tell that, I'd probably be lying because I'm gonna make up something that sound really real and relatable. Because I really don't remember. Everybody just seemed like I just met you yesterday. Or a long time ago, I should say.
Yeah.
It had to be on one. Was it maybe RJ, one of RJ's plays?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm getting close. I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot.
You getting real,
Um,
you super warm. Do you remember which play?
ooh, child. What? It wasn't Fight of My Life, was it?
It was. It
It
was.
was?
It was the
Okay.
first one. It was the first one that he did openly, uh,
Okay.
outside of the church. When I first met you, I said, who is this quiet, silly man?
That'd
He's
be me.
so quiet and so silly at the same time. How are you that?
I don't know. I just it's just a mix of like I want to make people laugh and smile, but
Mhm.
I also don't like people at the same time. So I just stay to myself,
Yeah,
and until I have to come out of, um, I guess someone would say hiding, you could
yeah,
say.
yeah,
And then from there, once, well, I think I was telling RJ or maybe Sheikah or something like that one day, it's like backstage, I'm quiet, calm, chill. But once I get on the stage, it's all hands loose.
yeah,
Everything goes,
yeah,
and I just like making people laugh. By
yeah.
no means am I a comedian, so I'm not coming for RJ's job, but
I hear you.
I love it.
Well, I will tell you, and I've seen you in a couple of performances, but I will tell you, and I don't know if it was the difference between me being in front of the stage for a change, besides being backstage. But the
Mm-hmm.
last play that I saw you in, which was the Gospel of Oz,
Mm-hmm.
you had me. You like I got chills just thinking about it. You had me in absolute tears because,
uh,
and let me tell you, I didn't have my glasses on, so at first
mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that was you. And then when you sung, I said, "Boy, you better go ahead." So with that being said, I did have your bio. Thank you for sending me that. We're gonna use it, but in a different way. So I have
Okay.
some questions for you pertaining to your bio. So
Okay.
first and foremost, you grew up as a PK.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about that. I did not know you was a PK kid. Them the worst ones.
I played the fifth. Um,
Uh, you just proved
yeah,
a
it.
point.
I plead the fifth on that. Yeah. So I mean, all my life, pretty much. So my dad was like, um, the, I guess the pastor's assistant, pretty much. Wherever we went,
Okay.
he was next in charge, at any and every church that we had ever been involved in or involved with as a family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And so obviously, just as bad as the preacher's kids, like the literal preacher's kids, I mean, I was right there with them
Yeah.
because, um, that was my dad's job pretty much, second in hand, second in charge. Um, so you can imagine, being in home, um, right before we go to school, which is, and before I say these things, some of these things are things that we need to instill back into our families and stuff like that too, especially the younger generation. But
Agree.
being under his tutelage and everything, right before we went to school and work, when I was a child, we pray right there in the kitchen before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right before we eat, we say grace, thanking God for the food that's in front of us.
Yeah.
Everyone don't have the privilege to eat all the time,
Yeah.
or have a home cooked meal or a warm meal and stuff like that. Just
Yeah.
giving thanks, making sure when we go to bed, we pray. Thanking God for getting us through this day and um, um, you know, blocking any spiritual warfare that could have attacked us in any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side,
Yeah.
it was like, I don't feel like going to church every day,
Yeah, because yeah,
Um,
'cause I'm sure you were in church a lot.
if everything don't have to always be about what the scriptures say. Man, can I just be human for a second? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Um, it wasn't like my dad, he got this thing, especially back in the day. Don't ask him to pray for the food because Lord will be there all
y'all
day.
ain't gonna eat.
Um, Child, the chicken turned into something different by the time he finished. Um, yeah, and especially if when we were praying in the mornings right before school or whatever like that. Um, it would behoove me to make sure I was the one who's praying. Because if he prayed, I'd be late for school. Because
Wow.
he's just
Yeah.
trying to make sure to block every enemy, and I mean every enemy from from back rack and G5 and the other one down the street. Oh Lord, I learned there's a lot of things I know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like they always say, a child will stray, but as long as you teach them the word and instill it in them, then they will always find their way back and stuff
They'll
like
always
that.
find a way
So,
back. That's
yeah.
so indicative of my own life and my children's lives. I think that you when we instill that, I think we forget how powerful it is, but you will go back to it. You will gravitate back to
Hmm.
what has been instilled in you, and my I can testify that my children have been able to do the same. So that's great. So you grew up as a preacher's kid.
Yeah. Oh, and
How
don't
did,
let me get in trouble. Ooh.
ooh,
Mm,
I bet
I
your
don't.
trouble was a lot different than a lot of other. Now, how many do you have siblings? How many siblings do you have?
No, I don't have any.
No,
I don't have any
oh, it's
main
just you.
siblings. Yeah, it's just me.
Oh, so you took all of it.
Yeah, I had all of it, and mind you, my daddy wasn't the kind of person to just hand me things. You know how only childs are spoiled and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm not spoiled at all. I'm spoiled in different ways, but not with the gifts and receiving all the time, stuff like that. He was one of those who, regardless of what it was, if I wanted something, I had to work for it.
yeah.
So I don't know what it feels like to be spoiled. And I don't know if that has anything to do with being a preacher's kid or if it does or if it doesn't.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like if you ask me personally, probably so, because had he not been, then he probably would have been, because I'm the only child here. Of course, he
Yeah.
probably would have showered me with all kinds of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
he knew the value of work, um, I didn't get anything that I wanted unless I worked for it, and I was kind of rebellious, so I didn't really get much. So there's that.
Wow. And I'm sure you seeing that with your children now.
Oh man, I swear I feel like having children is like looking at yourself in the mirror times 10.
Agreed. Agreed.
Mm,
Agreed.
I got some little devils in the house. That's all I know.
Let's move on. So, growing up as a preacher's kid, how did that affect you and your music, your style of music? How did that influence that for you?
Um, well, it definitely gave me a sense of soul, having a little Baptist in you or whatever it may
Mhm.
be. It gave me a sense of soul, a sense of rhythm and music. Um, I wouldn't say it too much influenced my music, because I don't really have any shades of like, I don't know if you could just listen to one track and be like, oh, I think he's a preacher's kid or something like that. But
Mhm.
I think once you get to know me and then you hear my music, then you can kind of see how he could probably be a preacher's kid and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I can see that.
I
Mhm.
I don't think I purposefully put anything in there that would make me seem that way, but I could see how someone looking on the outside who gets to know me understands and hears what I put out, and they're like, "Yeah, I can see that."
Yeah, most
Um,
definitely. I can agree with you on that because you just listening to your music, you wouldn't pick up on that you being a PK. But being
mhm.
around you, it'll definitely like he he might be, yeah, he might be a
Yeah,
PK.
he might be.
All right, we got
Mhm.
somebody that said real.
What's up, Don?
Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so when did you first realize that you had this love for music? When did it first become evident to you?
Um, the first time I really remember is I I believe it was just within my high school years that I really started to get into it and try to find a craft in it. I knew I
Okay.
could sing, because obviously being in church, everyone knows I can sing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to escape anybody. Everybody know that. The preacher know it, the pastor know it, the deacon know it, all of them know it. So I can't get away from it. You know, I remember having to being called out in the middle of nowhere. I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11. They
Mm-hmm.
said, Noite, my real name, Noite, Anointed.
Okay.
Some people don't know that.
I do.
Um,
Yeah. I forget it, but I know it.
some people don't know and think my real name Dorell. I'm like, nah, it's my middle name. Please leave me alone. Um, but they'll be like, Noite, come sing a song for us. I didn't volunteer for this. Hold up. You know, I remember having to do that all the time for no reason. They wanted me to lead praise and work. No, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing all
Yeah.
that stuff. No.
Now,
But
when you first started singing, was it, did you know that it sounded good, or did people tell you, like, were the church members like, oh, you sound good?
um I think I kind of knew because since the music, you know, because my dad can sing too, obviously. That's who I got
Okay.
it from. Um uh Growing up in that household where he's always doing some kind of musical performance or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. I always had a sense and an ear to
Mm-hmm.
hear. So I can hear myself if I sound good or not. Not in any kind of egotistical way. I don't
Sure.
need anyone to tell me if I do or do not sound wrong. Because if I sound bad, I can tell you, oh yeah, I sounded bad. I have no
Yeah.
problem telling you.
Yeah.
And I'm my biggest critic on that.
Of course.
Um, but yeah, no, I don't. I'm pretty sure people said, "Hey, you sound good," and I'm pretty sure I said, "No, I probably didn't." But if it sounded good to y'all, then go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you also played the drums?
I do.
Okay. That's all.
I started that at age 6, getting lessons and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I drifted off pretty heavily for a good long time, and I just really got back into it maybe, uh, a few years ago. But the talent never left. Now I may not be, an excellent drummer like some of these bad boys out here. I could name a few,
Yeah.
but I can play at least.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I like that. So
Hmm.
let's see. You started writing remixing versions of songs in high school, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do you think helped you shape your songwriting skills? Was it being in church? Was it music that you were hearing? What helped you shape what that looked like for you?
Um, and my answer, I think most artists can agree, but as far as shaping and molding us as a musician, we have to hear what we like. Getting inspiration from other artists and things of that sort help us figure out who we probably are.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our different style,
Mm-hmm.
but just like you make a color, you have to put certain colors into it to make one color, you know?
Oh, that's
When
good.
you
Yeah.
when you mix blue and heck, what's some colors that mix and make a color? I
Blue
don't
and
know.
red make purple, I believe.
When you mix blue and red,
Yeah,
it
that's
make purple.
what you
When you mix blue and red, it
Yeah,
makes purple.
yeah,
And that's the same with musicians. We are who we are. We're going to be a color, but we have to mix other colors into us to figure out who we really are.
yeah.
And that's pretty much the best way I can explain that situation with me. I just took dabbles from some of my favorite people or artists in this world and just kind of molded myself into who I really wanted to be.
Antonio had to make sure that he confirmed with us. Yes, blue and red does make purple.
It do.
It does.
Appreciate you, Tom.
Okay, I love that. I love that. So I'm gonna play you were so kind to share with me some music that hasn't been released yet. First of all, is that
Mm-mm.
let me let you set the tone for this for what we're about to hear.
Sure. So I guess the song that's finna play, or at least a snippet of it, um, oh man, what did I call it? Um, Trying to go. It was a song um that I just really liked when I wrote it. I heard a beat and I was like, yeah, I gotta have that beat, and I probably wrote the lyrics within a couple hours or so.
Okay.
Um, and I came up with this, and I feel like it's a hot hit. I think it's something different than I have previously done, kind of
Okay.
take a different spin on what you normally hear me do, but still, it's still me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess I'm gonna release it on the 28th of March.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing the responses from it. I think it's dope. If you like R&B, that's the one.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all first time hearing it right now. What's the name of it?
Trying to go.
Trying to go. All right. Here we go.
Oh yeah, said I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to go home with you. Oh yeah, said I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to go home with you. Oh yeah. 'Cause it's been a while since I've seen somebody in my neighborhood with a smile like you. Oh, and I'd be deprived if I couldn't have a piece of your time, baby, and your loving too. Yeah, yeah. Said I'm tryna go home. I'm trying to go home with you. Yes, I am. Said I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to go home with you. Oh yeah. Since you've been around, my life has been so perfect. And I don't normally go out, but
So
since I met you, girl, baby, it's been so worth it. Oh yeah, 'cause it's been a while since I've seen somebody in my neighborhood with a smile like you. Yeah, yeah. And I'd be deprived if I couldn't have a piece of your time, baby, and your loving too. Yeah, yeah. Said I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to go home with you. Oh yeah. Said I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to go home with you. Oh yeah. Said I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to go home. Oh yeah. I'm trying to go
Okay, girl.
home. Trying to go home with you.
it's a jam, man.
Yes,
It's
I
a,
am.
it's a
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Listen, you got something there.
I
You got
appreciate
something
that.
there. Listen, you know how back in the day, dudes used to send female songs to try
Mm-hmm.
to let them know how they felt about them? That's the perfect one. That's the perfect one. Like homeboy said, you about to make me cry about the baby mom. That song is so beautiful. What I love about your sound, sometimes you hear somebody and you like it because it reminds you of another artist.
Hmm.
But real, I can't think of anybody that you sound like but you. Like
I appreciate that.
it's a very, in my opinion, it's a very unique sound. Leader Godson said, all right now.
What's
I
up,
don't
Lee?
know. Yeah, boy, Tony showing out. He said, this is I'm a paraphrase. I got you. This is perfect for a music blah 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 movie scene, like when they surrounded by people, but it's like it's just them. I close my eyes and just see Paula Patton
Lord, Paula.
moving slow. But it's like, well, you got something there. Now, I'm gonna just put this in there.
Okay.
I have a favorite of yours.
Okay.
Okay. Impatient is a favorite of mine. I didn't
Okay.
get to upload it, but if you all are watching this show and if you have, I know it's on Apple Music, it's probably on what, Spotify, YouTube as well.
Yes, it's everywhere.
Impatient is that's another like, girl, come
Yeah.
here. Like if some man played that song for me, I'd be
Hmm.
like, baby, what you want me to cook for you? You want me to cook you something?
What
Like,
you want from me?
what do you want from me? That's one of my favorites. But this song, I can't wait for you to release this song because,
It's
again, such a beautiful tone.
yeah.
When you were writing this song, when you said you heard the beat, right?
Hmm.
What made you go in this direction with it?
Um, it's just kind of the same when I'm writing songs in general. I just kind of let the beat or the instrumental take me where it
Mhm,
wants to take me, and just let it speak to me.
mhm.
And so I'll ask myself, what do I hear on this track? What do I hear someone saying on this track? Or maybe not someone, what do I hear myself saying on this track?
Yeah,
And I'll meditate on it, and if it's for me, then it will come to me. If it ain't
sure.
for me, then it won't come to me. Um, this one definitely came to me when I heard it. I didn't have
Yeah.
to ask nobody. I didn't have to ask my soul. I didn't have to ask my conscience. I knew I wanted to do something with it, and
Hmm.
all I needed was the words. And I did that. I took a pen and I just let it. I let it flow, and I said, you know what? I'm trying to go home with you. Ooh, oh, that's the chorus right there. Hold up. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, and that's how. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. I like that. I don't know what you just did, but
I
that was
don't.
good too. That
I
was
don't know.
performance. I was like, that was
I,
cute. I ain't seen that before.
I didn't
I
do
didn't know
nothing.
I had that. No, that's awesome. And also what I noticed was how
Hmm.
it was arranged too. The little smooth background into the chorus and things of that nature. Beautifully
Hmm.
arranged, beautiful song. Was it one of those things where you had to play it over and over again till you got all the words out?
Um, yeah, kind of. Just making sure I put everything that needs to go in there to make it as elegant as possible.
Yeah.
I think that was my challenge with this one was because it had such an old school vibe with it.
Hmm.
I wanted it to sound as elegant as possible. Like if you can't grab your partner and go slow dance on the
Yeah.
on the dance floor, then it ain't elegant enough. I wanted it to be as elegant as possible, as soft as possible, but still impactful at the same time.
I love that. I love that. Have you seen your songwriting evolve over the years?
Definitely. I'm sorry, what was the question?
How have you seen your songwriting evolve over time?
Um, I mean, I remember back when I first started writing, like I said in my bio, it was probably 2011, 2012 when I was just
Mhm.
writing remixes and stuff like that. And those I did it wasn't serious. I thought they were okay for that time, but it wasn't serious. And then when I actually started getting serious, maybe about 13 or 14, 2013, 2014. I felt like I had some stuff going,
Yeah.
and it just takes just repetitiveness and just growing as a person because the songs that I wrote maybe 5 years ago, I don't feel compares to the pen that I have now. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and just getting that repetitiveness of making sure I write, making sure to just follow what I feel. One of my favorite artists in general is J. Cole. He has a lot of inspirations for me and stuff like that. He's my favorite rapper of all time. I
Okay.
don't care what no one say. Um,
I like J. Cole.
and he put out a documentary, and it completely changed how I approached my music. He had
Okay.
a documentary, I think it came out during COVID time, and he was talking about how, when we get out of the studio or when we stop writing or whatever, we get this sense of, is what I'm writing good enough? Or is this going to be a hit? Or is this verse hard or not? And he had to start believing in what he said. And so he was like, instead of second guessing what I'm writing, let me write what comes to my mind now. And then I can go through and edit it from there. And so I took that and I put it into my artistry and just implied it towards what I do, and it's helped me grow so much. Like, instead of being worried about if someone's gonna vibe to it or not, I just write what I'm feeling, write the first thing that's coming to me, and I feel like ever since I took that on, I feel like that's definitely progressed me to a different level, helped me to write some of my favorite tracks that I have that are very recent.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it just only gets better from here, you know?
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you how powerful that is that you just said. That also is true for being an author
Mm,
because when I'm writing, sometimes I just and I feel like I don't have anything. I just write what's
mm-hmm.
in my head, and
Yeah.
then that at least gives you something because you'll be surprised what you get out from your head to the pen or type in my for me. You'll be surprised how you actually have more than you think you have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely profound. And yeah, J. Cole is for me, he's one of my favorites as well. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Um, so let's talk about because as independent authors or artists, we all have a struggle. So
Mm-hmm.
what has been the biggest challenge you think for you as an independent artist?
Um, I think the biggest challenge for me is just getting my name out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because being confident in myself, I know I have good music. I know my music may not be for everyone, but could reach everyone if the ears were there.
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest challenge is getting out there.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I guess I don't want to say it's an excuse, but it is. But at the same time, my biggest challenge is making sure I set aside time to market myself and do this and stuff. I wish I had a social media a person for me for my music and stuff like that, because just being so busy with work and being married, I have 3 kids and stuff like that. Sometimes I lose focus on if I even have time to put advertising towards this
Yeah.
or do that and stuff like that. So that's been my biggest challenge, is just trying to figure out how I can put myself out there without losing more time than I need to.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit you up after the show. I may have an idea for you. We'll talk
Okay,
about it. We'll talk
sounds
about it.
good.
But as you said, being an independent artist means you are in charge of your promotion, and that is hard because, like you said, you got life
Hmm. Yeah.
on top of all of that.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as people would think it would be. Um,
Mm.
what is some of your goals for the next upcoming? I know we got the song that's going to come out March 26th. Did I get that
March
right?
28th.
28th. Okay. So we got
Uh-huh.
the song coming out on the 28th. We the podcast is definitely going to support that. So keep me updated on that. We're definitely going to support you on that. What
Will
are some
do.
other goals that you have maybe for this year or the upcoming years?
Um, I know I have a couple projects that I've been working on
Okay.
that have been delayed. At least one of them has been delayed for I don't know how long. And probably a part of me that is a challenge that I need to work on bettering myself for this year is just learning how to um, I guess just release more
Mhm.
because I get so stuck on releasing a whole project that I sometimes forget the value in just releasing a gem at a time.
Yeah,
Especially being an independent artist, I've heard the pros and the cons. I don't really care about the pros and the cons because it is what it is, and if it's meant to be, I believe it'll be meant to be.
sure.
But yeah, just taking the time to show more of my music or give more of me to the world. Work on those couple projects that I already have in the books. Another big thing for me this year is maybe doing like a little concert or whatever,
Hmm.
and bringing a couple of my friends on. Um, we've been in talks about it. We just got to get all the stars to align and stuff like that. So hopefully that happens here in a few months or at least sometime this year. So be on the
Yeah,
lookout for that. Um, and that's pretty much it as far as musically. Just trying to get out there and vibe with everyone, and show everyone who I am in a sense.
absolutely. Anything else that you got going on, whether it's musically, professionally, that you're excited about, that you want to share with us?
Um, Nothing at the moment,
Okay.
but if for whoever is seeing this, they want to hit me up, whether it be to act, or sing somewhere, or perform at the Met Gala, or give me a Grammy Award for Impatient, whatever it might be, please feel free to call me, and I will answer the call and will not let you down.
I love that. I love that. And where can everyone find you now that we're talking about that? And I'll definitely make sure to pin those areas as well once I go back and edit the video.
For sure. If you're looking for me personally, well, I ain't gonna give you me personally. If you're looking for my music, you can add me at Dorell Music. That's on Instagram and Facebook, or at Dorell_W on TikTok. I also do photography, fun fact. So if you want to see some of my work, you can check me out on IG at _award photography, I think is what it is.
Okay.
And I'd be happy to do some photography for you too.
Awesome. So you do people, you do still life.
People, but really whatever my heart desire. But yeah, yeah, definitely if someone is paying me to do your high school portraits or whatever it may be, I'm here for it.
I love that. I did not know that. I did not
Hmm.
know that. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Secret love of mine.
Okay, I love that. So you know the name of the show is If I Do This Right.
Hmm.
So if you did this right, what's the next part of that sentence? If I do this right, then what?
If I do this right, I win a Grammy and I call it a day. Um,
Just one? You just gonna take that one and hit.
and
That's
that's
it.
that's all I want because even if I just get nominated, I ain't gonna lie, just the nomination for me would
Yeah.
solidify and give me the validation that I personally desire. everyone who may be seeing this podcast or listens to my music on a daily, they've probably given me, the validity plenty of times.
Sure.
But it's the personal validity that I want.
Yeah.
I want to know that at least I was considered for something so highly regarded because my music just touched a lot of ears.
Yeah.
So I don't even have to win the Grammy, which don't get me wrong, I would take the Grammy.
Sure. Sure.
But the
But
nomination
just
in
to be
itself,
in that circle, just to be nominated and said his art is at the top of these, this. Because when you
mm-hmm,
look at the grand scheme of things, when you look at the amount of people in the world, the amount of
mm-hmm,
people who actually won a Grammy is about this small.
mm-hmm,
So
and
be at
sometimes
that
people
level. Mhm.
sometimes people lose value or lose faith in the value of just having Grammy nominated next to your name. That
Yeah.
holds so much weight that some people just don't understand. Grammy nominated artist. Oh, that means he at least good enough that he was even considered.
He was even
And
considered, yeah.
yeah, that takes it to a whole nother level. But on another note, because
Yeah.
I'm not just, a musical artist, I like to act.
Yeah.
So, for Uncle Sonny, Sonny Wayne, I definitely would love an Emmy for it. I mean, um, I for behind the scenes story,
Yeah.
after I think it was before and after on while we were on set the day of the show. I came in costume, right? And it's just something about me. I think it was just from being trained from like Pastor Bonner, because I work with Pastor Bonner a lot on some of his
Shout out to
programs and
Pastor
stuff like
Barnes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, he's definitely one of the ghosts of East Texas.
Absolutely.
Um, and one thing he didn't play about was just making sure you're in character, you're focused. We didn't come here to play. We came here to get this thing serious and on the road. So he didn't play when it come to getting serious about it. And so I take that personally. When I take my roles, I take it personally. And RJ would tell you, I took it personally. When I walked in that door and had the wig on, had my clothes on, I was no longer me. I was always, until he just said, "Real, take it off." Until he said that, I was
Yeah.
from start to stop. Even when we walked out the door at the end of the day, I was Sonny Wayne all day. And it wasn't because I didn't want to stop being me. It was just purely because I love the enjoyment that it gave people. I love the happiness that it made people feel, the laughter that it brought to people and stuff like that. I just do stuff for the giggles. You know what I mean? So
I don't know
I'm
how
here.
you kept a straight face doing it.
it, um, it was hard. I broke character a couple times on
Yeah.
stage,
Yeah.
but it was very hard. And kudos to them for trying to keep a straight face as best as possible
Yeah.
because I was doing everything I could possibly do to break character. So
Oh,
yeah,
you one of them that try to
yeah,
get people around you to break character.
yep,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
People like you are diabolical.
Can't help it.
And I've seen you do a couple of things, but that by far is my favorite.
Thank you.
Definitely my favorite. Hmm.
I appreciate it. It was definitely one of my favorites to do. And if you catch us on TikTok, I think Uncle Sonny and oh, I can't think of the name. Uh Auntie. Uh-huh. We be doing some things. So just
Okay.
look out for TikToks of Sonny Wayne and Auntie. We here.
Sheikah's
Mm-hmm.
character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be hilarious. That's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be hilarious. I love that. I love that. I have to keep my eye out on that.
Oh
I have to
yes.
keep my eye out on that. It has been such a pleasure having you on the show. I
It's
want
been
to
a
ask
joy.
you before you go, is
Mm-hmm.
there any advice that you would share for anyone who is a PK and a musician, or wants to get it start being a musician and just doesn't know how to get the ball rolling, any advice that you would like to share? Maybe advice that you would have liked to heard when you were starting out.
Um, I think the biggest advice that I could give and that I've even received myself is to just get started.
Yeah,
If you don't start, then you won't get anywhere. You'll sit there and ponder about where you could take it, but until you start, you can't take it nowhere.
absolutely.
So whatever it is you need to do, whether you need to save the money or put back the money to get whatever tools you need, do what you got to do. If like me, sometimes I've gone negative to try to make sure I got some of the things to make sure I can satisfy my need and wants to do this music stuff. So,
Yeah,
whatever you need to do, as long as you good, um, do it.
yeah.
Don't let nothing stop you.
Just start somewhere. Just start
Start
somewhere.
somewhere. Yep.
Yeah, that's great advice. Great advice. Somebody said, wonderful episode. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you, Navar.
Again, thank you so much for coming on the show.
I
I
appreciate it.
really appreciated having you. Thank you for sharing the song that you haven't even released yet. Again, you guys make sure to be on the lookout for that
March 28th.
March 28th. It was in my head, but I didn't want to say it wrong. March 28th. We're gonna be on the lookout for that. I got it, so I'm gonna get to listen to it for a
Yep.
while before anybody else does. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you go, brother. Again, I appreciate you so much, and I'm gonna be getting with
Yes.
you about that social media. I think I got somebody in mind that
Hmm.
they can help you, and you can just throw them some cash every now and then.
Sounds good. That works for me.
All right, all right. Take care.
Peace.
All right, you guys. Thank you again so much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in to the show, we appreciate you. Also, make sure that you are subscribed. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have TikTok. If you are interested in being on the show, we would love to have you. This show is about sharing positivity and light and sharing people's stories, how they overcome situations. Like I said, we are definitely looking for artists, writers, photographers, whatever your art and dream is that you love to share with the world, we want to hear about it. So definitely feel free to inbox any of the pages, or you can email us at if I do this right podcast at gmail.com. Again, thank you guys so much for supporting us. Now, I'm going to be honest with you all. I do not know if we're going to have a show for April. I did have something lined up, but I think that's might be falling through. But if not, we'll see. Also, I do want to do a panel discussion about the emptiness syndrome. So we'll be having a panel discussion again soon. Again, thank you guys for joining us, and until next time, have a great one.